Hello everyone, this is Brandon, and I want to welcome you all here to the Bran'sTech YouTube channel. I'm so glad to have you all here today. So I told you all just last week that I decided to upgrade from my Samsung Galaxy Note 9 smartphone that I've been carrying around as my primary phone since January of 2019. So I've asked you all to leave some comments for me, and so I've gotten a handful of comments on Instagram trying to guess what phone did I ultimately decide to upgrade to. So, out of these, two of the three comments are people who are genuinely putting in guesses. Another person actually already knows, but put in a guess anyway. So, yeah. So, one comment says iPhone with an exclamation point. Another person said iPhone 14. And so now it's time for me to go ahead and say, what did I decide to upgrade this phone with? I decided to switch from my Samsung Galaxy Note 9 to, let's see if you guessed it, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. This device right here is truly just a really interesting device to take a look at. So when it came down to it, this phone right here, I think, is probably one of the best decisions I was able to make when it comes to upgrading a phone. And so let me go ahead and dive into why now. Why in May of 2023 did I decide to switch from one phone to another? So there's numerous reasons as to why I chose now to switch. One of the main reasons is that me and my family, we actually try to keep the same devices as each other, and so it almost became a competition as to who was going to switch first. And ultimately, we decided to do it at the same time, and we are very familiar with the Galaxy Z Fold 3, and ultimately decided that the 4 would be just a great phone to get. And other than that, though, I have always been someone that I'm not a big smartphone user. I much prefer the likes of a laptop, like this Surface Laptop 4 over here, over any sort of phone. So when it came down to it, I wanted a phone that could do just as much as my Note 9, and maybe just a little bit more. And I have no intentions of upgrading anytime soon from my Fold, so I wanted a phone that could be future-proof. So I went ahead and picked this phone right here that has a standard telephoto and wide-angle lens. And not only that, it also has a front-facing camera on both this side and the condensed side over here. I'm someone who absolutely loves taking pictures in the moment, and of course I vlog here and there as well, so I wanted a phone that was capable of doing that. And also too, like I said, I wanted something that I knew could work really well with the equipment I have, and so having a phone that had USB Type-C, similar to all of my other phones, devices, this camera I'm recording on right now, this Sony camera, my Surface, they all have a Type-C charger. That was a non-negotiable for me, for the most part. And yeah, there's just so many other reasons as to why I decided to pick this phone right here. And so now, I just want to tell you all a little bit about my first impressions after now, I guess, a month or a month and a half using this device. So first of all, for one of my first impressions, it never gets old to just flip the screen open. And I mean, it just feels majestic. But yeah, I mean, aside from that though, I would say switching to the phone actually made me want to use a phone less. As odd as that sounds, and there's nothing against the new phone, but honestly, when it came down to transitioning from one phone to the other, I ultimately decided to not transfer any of my apps. And while this was initially because of a internet connection glitch on behalf of myself, I ultimately really have not installed anything. There's been nothing new installed on this phone right here, as of right now, in early July 2023. I just haven't felt a need. All of my apps are still here on my Note 9 that I still use regularly, but it's kind of freeing to not have all of these apps, all of these notifications constantly bombarding me on my phone and my smartwatch. And so, yeah, when it comes down to it, I like that I'm able to have a bit of distance. I know that's not necessarily a reflection on the phone itself, but that's just a part of my personal experience. And for me, as someone who loves classic television, I love that the screen is practically the same aspect ratio as a analog television. So thus I can watch shows on Tubi on the full screen like it was originally intended for it to be. But like I said, I'm able to watch TV on here in full aspect ratio, and just like that, I mean, it just fits so perfectly. I don't really have any black edges or anything. It's just plain and simple, just like that. And that's what I love. I mean, it's just so cool to really have that capability. Something that I love about this phone is the camera setup, and that you're able to actually take a selfie with the rear cameras. It's made for you to do that. So it's not like any type of cheat or anything. That's just how it is. And as someone that loves capturing the moment, that this makes this phone all the more worth it. And like I said, there's just so many more features, and of course this is not the review for it right here, but I just want to share a little bit about my experience this month. And yeah, in terms of future thinking though, I will probably, at least for now, continue using both devices equally, just as I have for many of my previous phones, whether it be the Galaxy S5, the LG G6, and so on. But yeah, what do you all think? Is this the phone that you all thought? Let me know in the comments below, or if you have any other questions about this device. But until next time, have a wonderful day everyone, let's make things happen. I'll see y'all later. Take care.